In the noisy heart of Lagos, where danfo horns shout like children and the wind smells like puff-puff and petrol, lived a woman named Jania and her little girl Aria. Their room was small, just one space with a bed, a blue plastic fan, and 2 plastic chairs. But it was filled with laughter, songs, and the smell of rice always cooking. Jania didn't have much. But what she had, she gave with her whole heart. "Wake up, sunbeam," she whispered every morning to Aria. Aria would blink slowly, smile wide, and say, "Mummy, did the birds sing my name today?" Jania would nod. "They always do, baby girl." Jania worked as a cleaner in a tall glass office in Lekki Phase 1. Every day, she wore her red slippers, tied her scarf tight, and walked all the way from Ojulegba to catch the first bus. It was a long walk. Her feet hurt sometimes. But she didn't mind. 'Cause she had Aria. Aria was 7 years old. She had soft brown skin and hair Jania always packed into 3 neat puffs. She was always coughing. Soft, weak coughs that never seemed to go away. But she never cried. Instead she hummed. Even when it was hard to breathe, she hummed her favorite tune. Musical note, "We go day alright, mummy say so. We go day alright no matter the walla." Musical note. That song lived in Jania's heart like a warm light. Kept her going. Their neighbors in the compound loved Aria. The old woman in room 4, Mama Beezy, always gave her mangoes. Uncle Teo, the Kiki rider who stayed upstairs, taught her how to wave like a queen. "One day you go rule this Lagos, small madam," he always said. Every Saturday, Jania and Aria would go to the yellow kiosk down the street. They would buy groundnut, fried yam and sachet Milo. Then they'd sit on the edge of the gutter, swing their legs and talk about big dreams. "I want to be a doctor," Aria said one day, holding her spoon like a stethoscope. "You will be," Jania replied. "You promise." "With everything in my heart." And Aria smiled like she believed it. But behind the joy, small things started to change. One Wednesday morning, Jania arrived late to work. Aria had a coughing fit in the night. It lasted for hours. They had no medicine, no money for taxi, no food. Jania held her close, whispering the humming song over and over, praying the cough would pass. At the office, her supervisor frowned. "You're late again, Jania. This is the 3rd time this month." "I'm sorry," she said, bowing. "My daughter." "We understand you're a mother," he interrupted. "But this is business." That night, Jania sat beside the fan with a paper in her hand. Final warning. 1 more lateness equals termination. She didn't tell Aria. Instead, she cooked rice with palm oil and added pepper to trick the tongue into thinking it was meat. Aria ate slowly, her body tired. But she still smiled and said, "This is delicious, Mummy." And Jania smiled back like everything was fine. The next day after work, Jania went to the clinic. The nurse, a young woman with long fake lashes and a tired face, shook her head. "Madam, your health card has expired." "But I just need a small refill for her cough. She's been weak for days." "No card, no treatment. Or pay 8,500 Nigerian nairas." Jania opened her bag and poured out all her coins. 420 Nigerian nairas. The nurse looked at her like she was invisible. "I'll come back," Jania said. But she didn't. Because she had nothing left to come with. The compound started whispering. "She day suffer too much. That girl no suppose day breathing like that. Why can't she just take her to Eliot?" Jania heard them. But she just held Aria closer. "Don't worry," she whispered. "God will send help." She cleaned extra toilets at work. Took on evening jobs. Even sold her favorite wrapper to buy Ventolin. But nothing stayed long. Money came like smoke and left like wind. Still, Jania never stopped singing to Aria. Musical note, "We go day alright, no matter the walla." Musical note. One Saturday it rained heavily. Aria sat by the window, watching water flood the streets. "Mummy," she asked, "why does the sky cry?" Jania paused. "Sometimes," she said, "the sky has too much inside. It needs to let it out. Like me. Like you, baby." They watched the water dance on the zinc roof. Aria's breathing was soft and shallow. Her small fingers held tightly onto Jania's wrist. "I don't want to leave you," she said. Jania blinked hard. "You're not going anywhere." Aria nodded. "Okay. I'll wait." One Sunday evening, Aria had a seizure. It came like a quiet storm. No noise, no warning. Her body stiffened. Her eyes rolled. Her mouth foamed. Jania screamed. "Help! Somebody help!" The compound woke up. Buckets dropped. Feet ran. Shouts rang out. But by the time they reached her, Aria had stopped shaking. Jania carried her outside, barefoot and wet. She ran down the muddy streets, screaming. "She's still breathing. Please help." A neighbor drove her to the clinic. The doctor checked again. "She's stable for now," he said. "But she needs oxygen. She needs a hospital." "Can I pay small?" Jania asked. He looked away. She might not survive the night. Back at home the lights were out. Nipa had struck again. Jania held Aria close. The little girl's chest rose and fell slowly. Her breath was a whisper. Her eyes half open. Jania hummed the song again. This time softly. Like a lullaby for angels. Musical note, "We go day alright, mummy say so." Musical note. She didn't sleep that night. She watched, listened, held on. And when the sun rose, painting Lagos gold, Jania touched Aria's cheek. And it was cold. But Jania didn't cry. She didn't scream. She wrapped Aria in her pink blanket. She brushed her hair. She packed a nylon bag with baby wipes, a bottle of water, and a small spoon. Then she tied Aria to her back. "Mummy," she whispered to no one and everyone. "We're going to get your medicine." And she stepped into the bright morning, smiling. The morning was too bright. The sun climbed fast, like it was in a hurry to forget the night. Chickens screamed. Katas buzzed. Children laughed down the street on their way to school. Lagos was loud as always. But Jania walked slowly. Aria was tied to her back, warm under the pink blanket. Her head leaned to the side, her arms hanging loosely. "She's sleeping," Jania whispered. She walked past the yellow kiosk. "Morning, Auntie Jan," the seller called. Jania smiled. "She's not feeling well. We're going to get her medicine." The woman looked down at Aria, then back up. She opened her mouth to speak, but paused. "Oh, okay. God go heal she said softly. The Danfo conductor almost pushed Jania out when she asked for a free ride. "I just want to get to Yaba," she begged. "She needs treatment." He waved her off. To walk. From Ojulegba to Yaba, under the hot sun, her legs burning, her eyes fixed ahead. "She just needs medicine," she told herself. "That's all." The bank people lined up outside. The sun made everyone angry. Jania stepped forward. The security man blocked her. "No children allowed inside." "She's not well." "Still, madam." "She's not well," Jania repeated louder. "Please. I need my salary." The man looked into her eyes and stepped aside. She walked in. The bank was cold inside. Too cold. The AC hit her face like a slap. Her shirt was soaked with sweat, but she didn't notice. She walked to the counter. "Good morning," she said. The woman behind the glass looked tired. "I want to collect my salary. My last one. My boss said it was sent. I cleaned for Sei and Sons Company." "What's your name?" "Jania Arroalo." Click, click, click went the keyboard. The woman frowned. "There's no payment here, ma. Maybe it's still processing." "No," Jania said softly. "It was sent. It's not here yet." Jania blinked. "I just need 18,700 Nigerian nairas. Please." "I'm sorry." "She needs medicine," Jania said, tapping her back. The woman glanced at the child and quickly looked away. "I'm sorry," she said again. Jania stood still. The cold air felt like knives now. "She's sleeping," she whispered. "She just needs medicine." She reached into her pocket. She pulled out her old work blade. The one she used to open cleaning supplies, peel plantain skin, and fix torn slippers. She didn't raise it high. She didn't shout. She just said, "Give me my money." The bank froze. The man behind the door locked it. Phones went silent. The woman at the counter pressed a button. Still Jania didn't move. "She's not breathing well," she whispered. "Give me my money so I can save her." People inside started whispering. "Is she mad? She's holding something. She has a child. She needs help." A young banker, his shirt too big and his hands shaking, stepped forward. "Ma, let's talk," he said. "I don't want trouble," she replied. He pointed to a chair. "Please sit." Jania sat. Slowly, carefully. "She's tired," she said, rubbing Arya's back. "She didn't eat last night." The banker looked at the girl. Something in his face changed. He turned away. Outside the bank, people were gathering. Someone had already tweeted. "A woman just pulled a knife in GT Bank Yaba. She has a child on her back. Looks like a hostage situation. What's going on in this country?" Another tweet followed. "She's not mad. She's broken. Somebody help her before it's too late." Police were called. Ambulance was called. But nobody rushed in. Everyone watched. Inside, the bank manager arrived. A tall woman with gold earrings and a hard face. She tried to stay calm. "Madam, what do you want?" "My salary," Jania said. "There's no salary here. She's sick. Let us help." "You don't understand," Jania whispered. "The whole city is watching but nobody sees." The manager looked confused. "Who's watching?" "Lagos." Time slowed. The lights above flickered. The air got colder. Jania blinked hard. She saw shapes moving at the edge of her eyes, like shadows with feet. She turned her head. Nothing. "She's just tired," she said to herself. But her mind was drifting. Suddenly, a woman from the crowd came forward. She wore a nurse uniform. "Madam," she said softly, "can I see the child?" Jania nodded. The nurse stepped closer. She gently lifted the pink blanket. She didn't scream, but she stepped back. And her eyes turned red. The child was too still. Too quiet. "Madam," the nurse said, swallowing hard. "When did she stop breathing?" Jania shook her head. "She's just sleeping. She always sleeps like this." Outside, the police formed a line. The bank glass doors were locked. Officers with long guns watched silently. News vans arrived. Microphones appeared. Reporters whispered. "A woman. Child. A knife. Lagos." Back inside, Jania hummed. Musical note, "We go day alright, mummy say so." Musical note. A young banker began to cry. Another woman knelt down. "She's lost her mind," someone said. "No," said another. "She's lost something more." The nurse stepped forward again. "Let me hold her," she said gently. "No," Jania whispered. "She needs her mother." She looked around. The blinking machines. The walls. The shaking hands. The frightened eyes. She began to laugh. Softly. Then louder. The laugh turned into tears. Not loud ones. Just small drops, falling one by one onto the tiled floor. She didn't stop. Even when the sirens grew louder. Even when the voices outside shouted. Even when the news camera lights flashed against the glass. "She's tired," Jania said. "But Lagos doesn't care. Nobody ever does. They wait until we break." The bank manager sat down on the floor too. "I'm sorry," she whispered. Jania looked up. Her eyes were empty. "She just wanted to be a doctor," she said. "That's all. That's all she wanted." Outside, the sun burned the concrete. The noise of Lagos grew louder. But in that small bank room there was silence. The kind of silence that feels like thunder before it comes. The police stood outside the bank, silent and still. Shields ready. Guns loaded. Inside, Jania rocked gently in the chair, humming to Arya. Her fingers moved slowly over the child's blanket. She touched her head, her cheek, her shoulder. She didn't feel the cold anymore. She didn't see the people crying. All she saw was her daughter, sleeping. The negotiator entered. A short woman in plain clothes. No badge. No gun. Just calm eyes and soft hands. She sat down across from Jania. "My name is Chioma," she said. Jania didn't answer. "I'm not here to arrest you." Still nothing. "I just want to know, how can I help?" Jania finally looked up. She stared for a long time. Then said, "Do you have 18,700 Nigerian nairas?" Chioma blinked. "I don't know." "Then you can't help." She looked away. "You're just another face." "No," Chioma said gently. "I'm a mother too." Jania's lips shook. "Then you should know. You should know what it's like to pray so hard that your knees bleed. To watch your child cough and cough and cough, until the coughs stop." She stopped speaking. Chioma nodded. The lights flickered again. Outside the sun was slowly setting. Inside time stood still. The banker who first spoke to her returned. He knelt. "I called your office," he said. "They sent a message." He held out a printed slip. Jania stared at it. 18,700 Nigerian nairas. Confirmed. Sent that morning. She laughed. Too late. The paper slipped from her hand and floated to the floor. "I used to believe in Lagos," she said. "I really did. I used to think if you worked hard you'd be okay. I thought if you prayed someone would listen." She looked at her blade. Then at her daughter. "She's been dead since yesterday," she whispered. The room froze. The nurse gasped quietly. The bank manager covered her mouth. Chioma nodded slowly, her eyes full of tears. "I know," she said. Jania stood up. Her feet were numb. She took a step forward. The room held its breath. Another step. She walked toward the bank doors. The security man opened them. The crowd outside had grown huge. Phones in the air. Cameras flashing. Silence. The woman who once walked through Lagos without being seen was now seen by everyone. But not for who she was. For what she had become. Jania stepped out. Still holding Arya. Still wrapped in the pink blanket. She walked barefoot into the evening. The air was heavy. Nobody moved. Some people cried. Some just stared. A reporter stepped forward. He whispered to his cameraman, "Zoom in." A woman from the crowd shouted, "Why did no one help her?" Another man shouted back, "She should have gone to church." People argued. Phones recorded. Children watched. Jania kept walking. One step. Then another. She reached the police car. An officer opened the door. He stopped, turned to the crowd, and said softly, "She was everything." Then louder, "You waited for me to snap before you saw me." Silence again. Soft wind blew. Someone in the crowd began to sing. "We go day all right. No matter the wala." Others joined. Low broken song. Like mourning. Like prayer. Jania climbed into the car. Chioma followed. The door closed. Car drove away. Later that night the news played the clip. Over and over. A mother. Blade. Bank. Child wrapped in pink. The city cried. The hashtags began. Hashtag justice for Arya. Hashtag the straw that broke. Hashtag do you see her now? But it didn't matter. Because Arya was gone. And Jania was tired. The next day, people left flowers at the bank. Small candles. A teddy bear. One note read, "We saw you too late. We're sorry." The city moved on. As it always does. Buses roared. People shouted. Children ran. But something stayed in the air. A whisper. Hum. Question. How many more before we listen? Some say they saw a white bird fly over Ojulegba that morning. Some say it landed on the roof of the bank and sang a lullaby. Others say it wasn't a bird at all, but a girl, smiling, wrapped in pink, free at last. If you have not subscribed to my channel, you might not hear my voice again, but if you are, then you are growing every day. Check my page for more interesting stories. Thanks for watching.